Persons investigations to bring loved ones home safer and faster. That is the mission of a new statewide missing persons working group appointed by Governor Mike DeWine.
Investigator Sarah Goldenberg spoke with a local advocate now who's hoping to see some real positive changes.
How can missing persons investigations be improved by law enforcement? Recommendations may be on the way soon, as a missing persons working group examines resources and responses statewide. 19 Investigates was the only local news crew at their second session in Columbus last week. The working group includes local members from Cleveland Police, New Philadelphia Police, and the U.S. Marshals Service. Sylvia Colon, co-founder of Cleveland Missing, is also a part of the working group.
The families that come here and they talk about how they've been victimized as well. And I think that's what's really important, and those are going to have to be takeaways, because that will encourage law enforcement to think differently about how they engage with families of the missing.
Sylvia's cousin, Gina DeJesus, was one of 3 women found alive on the west side of Cleveland after nearly a decade. We asked her what she thinks is the most pressing change that can be made quickly.
Our hope is that there will be some standardized processes for law enforcement around how they work a missing persons case, whether it be a child or an adult.
Members of the group are diving into best practices to find missing people, including making sure police agencies and families know you don't need to wait 24 hours to file a police report. They pitch better training for all detectives on missing persons cases, and hit on the importance of digitizing records in cold cases across the state.
They're really identifying families and looking at what the needs of the families are as well. And to me, that speaks volumes to what this committee can do.
The working group also talked about the idea of having a missing persons point person at every law enforcement agency. The group will meet 4 more times, and they're expected to issue recommendations at the end of April. Sarah Goldenberg, 19 News.